My name is Eric Tucker, and I cover national security for the Associated Press in Washington. Five Americans who had been jailed in Iran are on their way home, along with two relatives, as part of a prisoner swap with Iran, in which the U.S. government is releasing five Iranians who have been charged or convicted here in the United States. In addition, the U.S. government is unfreezing and returning to Iran roughly $6 billion in Iranian funds. The Biden administration has repeatedly said that the release and return of Americans who are wrongfully detained abroad is a core administration priority. And we have seen now multiple instances of the Biden administration being willing to make significant concessions in order to secure the release of Americans who it says have been unjustly detained. There has been significant pushback on the deal, most notably from congressional Republicans. They say that this is another example of the Biden administration being too soft in negotiating with foreign adversaries. And they say that in making these sorts of concessions, both in terms of the funds and the release of prisoners sought by Iran, that it is a way to incentivize adversaries like Iran to take hostages again in the future, to arrest prisoners, and it suggests that they can get a sweetheart deal. The U.S. government has said that it will continue to have oversight over these funds and that the purpose of the funds is for humanitarian trade. The longstanding desire of the U.S. government is to not have people suffer for the acts of the government. And so the U.S. government says the money is meant to support the people. It's worth noting that the president of Iran, in an interview last week with NBC News, said that the money would be used however he and the Iranian regime decide for it to be used. And so I think that's going to be a tension that's going to be worth watching. This agreement is unlikely to do much to warm the relations between the U.S. government and Iran. This is a finite and discrete deal, and we already see lingering and continuing points of contention between these two countries. We see the Iran's nuclear program, which has long been a concern to the U.S. and other Western nations in terms of the enrichment of uranium. That's not likely to change. We've also seen the buildup of U.S. military in areas that are of concern to Iran. And so there are significant points of disagreement between these two countries that make it unlikely that this one deal is going to really open the door to different relationships.